Hello, hello. Oops, sorry about the glare. It says that I am here. Am I here? Am I here? Only you can tell me if I'm here. Hey, there everybody is. Trying to get that out of the glare. Hello, everyone. Hello, Loretta. Yes, I made it. Hi, Sargent. Yes, it works. Hi, Kenny. Hi, Patty. Hi, Nanimo. Hi, Rebel. And Mia Bear. And I am just thrilled to be here. As usual, YouTube gave me a bit of trouble getting in and on. Hi, Becky and Elizabeth and Fern. Hello, everyone. I have just been having a peruse. Actually, who am I kidding? I've been staring at this for 2 days, actually. It just arrived yesterday, so lots of yesterday and most of today. Although I did do a bunch of things in preparation for today, but we'll get to all of that. I just want to greet everybody and say hi and thank you for the thumbs up and 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 did I missed the end of Dev's stream, so I'm guessing that everything went well. And hi Shara, how are you? And Kenny, did you have a wonderful birthday on Friday? Friday was Kenny's birthday, everyone. And so I'm hoping that she had a good day. Hi, Anne. Welcome. And hi, Karen. How are you? Zucchini Kitty has been doing stunning work in ink. Well, she always does stunning work, but the two recent posts and videos that I saw of her work in Ink House are just incredible. So if you're not subscribed to Zucchini Kitty, you need to do that. Hi, Dev. Thank you, dear, for all the nice things that you do for all of us. Hi, Jack. And hi, Gary. And Deb. And wow. Thank you, everybody, for being here. You know that. So, anyway, I have obviously been just lost in these books that Jill sends me. And but so you know, I did look these up on Amazon and I put links for all of the things that I show in the descriptions of my videos. So there are links to these two books that I added to the description of the Happy Mail video from yesterday. So, but I, obviously have been just lost in this particular book. And because y'all know how I feel about my dragons. And, so I just love that they give you the sketch, but then they also give you the line art so that you can really see it. And hi, Katie and Shannon. Hi, Shannon. And it's just hi, Louise. And hopefully I'm not missing anybody. I think I said hi, Gary. Hi, Robin. So it's just, just to see how different elements of all of these dragons are drawn is just amazing. And so I've been lost in these two. I marked a bunch of these just to kind of show you guys. So it goes over how to make Celtic patterns, uses this graph, and incorporating the dragon into your Celtic pattern. Just amazing stuff. So I guess my next book is just going to have to be spectacular, huh? And just, but look at how pretty that is. It's a simple design. It would color beautifully, but it's just gorgeous. And it's there was one that I marked because it was so funny. For those of you who saw my drawing video, see if I can find it. And remember, I was trying to draw a braided, and it was the one that ended up being the dragon. But this is what I was originally trying to draw. And so I can see exactly where I was going wrong. And so that is so cool because now I can figure it out. Cool Celtic cross with herons. Anyway. Hi, Rochelle. And Corolla, hello. And Nika, hello. And everybody, hello. And so I also showed the new dragon drawing that I had just finished this week. And look, so there it is. I sort of, backed it away from the edges and put a frame around it for the Etsy version. But it's in the Etsy shop now and actually for sale. So anybody who would like to color that. And yes, this is a sea turtle, and that is supposed to be the ocean bottom. So that's the only direction that I have. So it's incorporating the land and the land and the sea and the air and the nature and the ancient and the wise and all of that kind of good stuff. So there's that. You know me. And then, of course, I have put these on Instagram and all of this. Now, this, of course, I want to send thank you notes out to everybody for all the wonderful happy mail that I get here. And also so that everybody has a little piece of original art from me. And to that end, I took some good vellum drawing paper and cut it down, and have just these are just a few little sketches that I did last night for us to color, and these are hand drawn ones. And then Shara, I used my Rochelle, I'm gonna and this is not a criticism. I want to say this, not a criticism, but if we can refrain from doing that with emojis, that would be great. They just take up so much room in the chat. I used the light board. Hello, and I traced these out of my own books. So this is, and I made a few little adaptations to fit them into the spaces and all of that. So I did that one from Flowers and Flyers. That's one of the butterflies from the portrait pair. And this is also from Flowers and Flyers. It's one of the decorative pages, and I just adapted a frame for it. Here's the, and Zargit would recognize this. She colored this, although we can't see the video because she took it down. She colored the cardinal pair, and I adapted it for a card size. Hi, Sandy. Going for a burger with Tony, so we'll watch back. Okay. All right. Bye, Dev. Yeah. Yes. I that was what I was doing. Also, as I grabbed when I left Dev's stream, I was grabbing food. Um, Also from Flowers and Flyers, this was just a little piece that I hand sketched this morning. Um, and then I thought that I would do at least one so that you can see that I, hand sketch stuff. And then I thought that we would paint some thank you cards with the various things that I have. And hi, Melody, and hi, Pat, and Melody. Are you watching from bed? Or what? I don't know what time it is there, but I suspect it's probably late. And Sandy, I understand. Everybody, Sandy is color creatively, and she has been doing a collaboration this week out of Clara Markova. I want to say it's Berry Miracles, but I could be wrong. Hi, Kim. Um, and so today was supposed to be the big reveal. Neither one of them had been watching each other's video. And so be sure to check out the videos on both Color Creatively and on Anne at A Colorful Life, Mama Fruit Bat, and check out what they've both done collaboratively with a picture from that book. And Tenderful Enchantments. Okay, got it. Okay, so it was Tenderful Enchantments, and I've been watching them both, and it's just funny. Because they are so different. Um, and what else? Hi, Pickle. How are you? At any rate, so so you don't want to look at this blank page. Here, look at these. This one was the very first one that I did, and of course, I got my snail a little too far in the foreground, and all of that. And this one was really just an experiment. I got the wings on the bee a little bit too dark, but ultimately it works with the color scheme. So and so I thought I would draw a little one of these, just so that I have to redeem myself, actually, because I once drew a butternut squash in a live stream, and it was pretty funny. It was pretty darn funny, I can tell you. Those who were here can tell you it was pretty funny. So I just thought that I would not start with that pencil. Let's start with this pencil. And we'll go with this. And we're not going to get fancy on this one. We're just going to, and now I'm switching to just, these are the Gravitints, by the way. And I like to color with these, or to outline with these, because, yeah, I think you were, Elizabeth. It was just so funny that it was uh, just not to be believed. Um, Hubby is dishing up your dinner. Well, isn't that nice, Anne? Wish I had a hubby who was cooking for me. Well, go enjoy your dinner, and we'll see you in a little while. So, this isn't going to be anything fancy. It's just going to be a little, just a little daisy. And it'll even be a little purple daisy. something that does not often occur in nature. If I go silent on you, it's because I'm actually concentrating on not making a complete ass of myself. Yeah, that'll work. No rule that says all the flowers on a vine have to be the same, right? So what if we wanted this one to be one of these? And like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect because what I can correct a lot of stuff with the paint. And maybe this one can be one of these. Mm-hmm. Doo-doo-doo. It's got to be pretty boring, yeah? We'll zhuzh it up here in a second. There we go. And like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect coming in. Because we can make it better. Let's see. I want this one to go this way. Mm-hmm. Maybe that one just goes a little bit like that. Okay. That'll, whoops, sorry. How far off camera did I get? Anyway, hi, Barb. I think that is so funny when I sit and attempt to do that in front of somebody. And so now that that torture is over for everyone, let's do a little coloring. How about that? And how is everybody doing today? What have you been doing today? Maybe we'll color the big one. Do we want to, you guys can choose. Do you want me to color the mushroom or, I mean, there's no rhyme or reason. Oh, how about we do the little the doohickey guy, the little tulip, and I'll see if I can actually concentrate long enough to make it make sense. It's weird for me to be on not coloring in a book, or coloring, coloring a drawing that I want you to buy. But I think, hang on, I'm just moving my Inktense into their respective little trays so that I can figure out which one I want. I think I would like to make this a purple yeah, a purple. So I'm going, now this is the Inktense. And I'm going to, if we have time, I'll end up doing a couple of these. One probably in watercolor and all of that. And because what I want you to, I guess what I'm doing is, of course, hopefully making thank you notes, but also uh, I think that one of the sincerest ways to say thank you when people gift you things is to actually use them. And so that is what I am doing. I am actually showing you that I get a great deal of pleasure out of the items that you send, and I'm demonstrating them for you so that you can, in turn, get them for yourselves and also get a great deal of pleasure, because that is what the coloring community is about. It is about learning from each other and enabling each other. And so all I'm doing really is just putting a little bit of this dark purple shade down on the edges of this tulip to define it. To define where the edges are. And then we'll wash that color down a little bit and we'll make these really cool two-tone. I'm trying to make sure that I stay on the camera. And I think so too. I think so too. And, you know, I used to make a lot of cards, and I have a bunch of um, really pretty Astro Bright cardstock that, you know, the really stiff cardstock, the kind that won't go through a printer. And I fold, you know, I make the card out of that, and then I mount the picture to the front of it. And that way, like I say, people then have something that I've not only drawn, you know, original art from me, but also a wonderful thank you. And that is how I roll. And I've been wanting to do this, but I didn't think that I had the paper. And I was having a bit of a clean out myself, making room for, well, actually, what I did was after I fell in my office, I decided that I needed to move some things that were in the way around, because that's kind of what happened. Is I tripped over clutter, and the the best cure for not having it happen again is to get rid of the clutter. And so I discovered that I had this gorgeous ream of vellum paper that I had never used, and an entire ream of it. So I said, aha, I know what I'm going to do with that. Um, okay, so there is that. And then I want just a hint of a nice deep rose. And am I the only one that I like to turn things upside down? because I like to color on the downstroke. So I'm just being very light with this. I'm going to come back in and darken up some shades, but I just want to, for now, I just want it to sort of be a lightish pink. And there'll be lots of magic happen because, as you know, these are Inktense, and so there'll be water added, and it will be gorgeous. I'm getting very, very light here, and on the inside, I'm going to go with a more dusky purple. So I don't want it to be as dark as that violet, but I want it to be, and I'm really just being very, very, very light, because once again, you can always add more, but you can't take it away. And wow, 44 folks. Thank you all for coming. That is wonderful. Okay, so now I'm going to add a little bit more of the dark purple. Make sure that is in fact the color I have in my hand. Up here at the top, just to make sure that I have a good bit of color to work downward a little bit. I don't want it to be a whole lot. Oh. Okay, and now we'll come back over here and we'll add some, how about some light? No. How about some, not Ionian green, not spring green, not apple green. Let's try a little bit of the light. Well, actually, let's try the leaf green up here at the bottom. And then we'll add a little, this is just a little bit of the light olive. And then a little bit of the no, rejecting colors. Let's try a little bit of the fern on one side. Okay, now we are going to grab a little bit of the what I'm after is I want the peacock green. I don't think there is a peacock green in this set. I think there is a peacock blue. And the irony of that is that blue actually looks good in leaves. Not all of, you don't want the whole leaf in blue, but if you just add a little bit of blue, and especially where they come together like this. And if you don't define those lines, they're going to all end up looking washed together. So I'll add a little bit of blue, and then I'm going to add some green, some darker green as well. But that will help to give it a little bit of visual interest. And this is, I'm taking from, and I apologize that I'm not paying attention to chat. Hang on, here it is. I'm so prepared that I don't know where anything is. This is that leaf recipe, the little black dress of leaf recipes. And she uses, this came, by the way, from Lori at Color My World. And she uses sienna brown, white, peacock green, apple green, cream, and chartreuse. All of those colors are used in these leaves. And so that is what I'm going to try and do with these. And I am actually, now that I actually have the roadmap where I want to go with it, I know what to do. So whichever one of you got into my head and said, Christine, go get Lori's recipe, because otherwise you're going to screw this up. Thank you for it. Okay. All right. That'll work. Yes. All right. That'll work. And then we'll take some apple green and maybe go, actually, no, let's take some white. And let's define the areas where we want it to be white, Christine, not black, where we want the highlights to hit. Okay, want the highlights to hit up here and here and here and here and right there. Okay, and then of course on this side. Okay, so now I can use some of the apple green on the sides that we want the lightest, keeping in mind that if I set the light on that side, then all the leaves on this side are going to be lighter, and they'll be darker on this side, except out at the very, very tips where the light actually hits them. And this one actually won't be, because it's got the shade of that on it, the blossom on it. So just hang on, guys. When the color goes down on this, you'll see what all of this is about. And let's see. Let's take a little sienna brown. Always a good idea. Which in the equates to the willow. So let me just adding a little bit of that in here. Hopefully Zarget's not going, oh my goodness, you're making a mess. Because, you know, folks that know what they're doing oftentimes look at me strange, but I end up with a result that I like at any rate. Okay, so then I want to add now my base green, my basic leaf green. And we'll see if this is anything. Oh, whoever that was, bless your soul. The cat is very thankful. She's desperate for cat litter. Okay, yeah, this is the leaf green. Okay. And then I also want the light olive here. And then I was going to put a little bit of the rose here. But this is a little bit darker because it's not as bunched up. Or it is, I mean, sorry, it is bunched up. Whereas this one is open, it would catch more light. This one is a little more bunched up. You guys getting a good insight into the mind of how an artist sees these things if I just have this sort of constant stream of conversation. Okay. All right. So there we go. Oh, now there's 58 people. I really do have to behave. Okay. And this is the wrong brush. There we go. Third time is always the charm. Okay, so I've got the water going in my brush. And I'm going to start with the darkest colors, just working my outlines. And this is so that I can see sort of immediately where I might need to work a little more defining. Because remember, this is a first coat. You can, I have found you can on these add a second coat, but you really run the risk of making mud if you do. And because you're working without an outline. And thank you again. And so it's best if you're hand painting like this, at least for me using the Inktense, it's better if I get it right the first try. And once again, there is no perfect here. There is no perfect. That's because every single one of these that you do is going to be different, and you want them that way. Nobody wants to color the same picture over and over and over again. Why would you want to paint the same painting or over and over and over again? Hang on, I'm looking for my blue because I need to add just a teensy bit. Oh, here it is. Just a teensy bit of blue. I want to run this up just a little bit further and sort of lighten it out. And so half the fun is seeing how it turns out. And what's the worst thing that can happen? You mess it up and you toss it. Or you don't mess it up, or you mess it up and you put it aside and see if maybe you can, once it's dry, if you can add Posca or or something else. to make it better. Although I do admit I did throw one away. But it was because it was a butterfly and I turned it into it looked like a zombie. It looked just like a zombie. A zombie butterfly. It was bad. I just got way too much pigment on it. And it was like, the first experiment. Yeah, I know exactly that feeling, Brenda. And it usually greets me on Tuesday morning of every week. After I get done paying whatever bill I've been able to pay or not pay, as the case may be. All right, and so I'm hoping that, yeah, okay, good. I did keep it way pink on this side, so I don't lose the definition there. And notice how the gravitant outlines just disappear. I mean, they really do. They just disappear underneath the Inktense. And so then, because I'm going to come back with Graphitins and do the backgrounds, which is what I did on these. I did the main subjects first, and then I went and did backgrounds with the Graphitins. So yeah, I have to admit that I was sort of proud of myself for a first effort on these two. Patting myself on the back. Good job, Christine. Now this I am see how it got kind of blobby on me. I'm hoping that will change once it dries. If it doesn't, then I'll see if I can fix that with maybe a fine line pen or maybe some white. Use the white Uniball, because that's awfully small and that was an awfully dark color. So I may have screwed that one up. But we shall see. The jury is out on that. Never throw anything away until you're sure it's a lost cause. And never go by what it looks like wet, because when it dries, it will change. And you really learn a lot about your bold colors this way too. You know exactly how far can you push it before you start losing definition. And this is a very wet water brush. So what you're seeing is really wet, and will look totally different when it's dry. As soon as I'm done with this flower, I'm going to look at the chat. So if you guys have any questions, think of them, and then I'll address the chat, and we'll talk about those. I don't worry about paper peel, even though this isn't watercolor paper, because if you have a light enough touch, you should be okay. you might want to tape things down. I found I taped one down and it was fine. One of them I did not tape down, and it was this one, and it buckled. So I just basically stuck it between two Black Widow tins overnight, and it was fine. You know, it went right back flat. La-di-da. So did we all get debabled by anything today? I did not see anything I could not live without. But then I had, you know, other than maybe the dragons, but I had just gotten that dragon book from Jill, so so I was pretty my need for dragons was pretty well satisfied. Okay, so now let's add a little maybe a how about a little bee, since little bees seem to be the theme of the day. Where is my... Now, this time I'm going to use the outliner, the Derwent Inktense outliner. Where do we want our little bee to be? We haven't put one on this side yet. So we'll put a little bee here. Well, let's go. There's his little head. And there's his body. And here's his little bat behind. And we'll put some wings on him. Yep. Once again, fun and whimsy, not fine art. Even give him a little stinger there. Now I will switch to trying to think of what I did. Oh, sorry, you guys didn't need to see my hair. Like that. Kind of make his... Okay, now I'm going to actually, so that's the black part. Now I'm going to go back to the graphitent and I'm going to choose the gray. Actually, I'm not. I'm going to choose the black graphitent. Let's see, that's the juniper, and that is the meadow. So, and I'm going to go around the body. And the reason why I'm doing this with the black is because I want it to be there, but I also want it to fade out a little bit. Because I'm going to do the black first, and then I'm going to add the yellow. Because if I don't do it that way, if you try and add it all at once, it has a tendency to mush into each other, and that isn't good. Now I'm going to color the wings. This is something different from what I've done before. I'm coloring the wings with Storm because I think that it will be a nice translucent shade, and then I will add the wing definition with probably the chestnut. Oh, wait, our little guy, he needs some horns. And let me actually, oops. Where are my camera tools here? Hello. Something must have happened. My camera, they didn't come up. So I'm sorry I have to make you watch from so far away. We'll fix that here in a second. Oh, see, yeah, that is just way too wet of a brush. Okay, so now I got to switch to a. See how that it went all wide on me, and it shouldn't have done that. So now I've switched to the much finer brush. Which isn't nearly as wet and therefore does not cause that problem. I've also put a set of, or the link to these AquaTint or these AquaPro brushes that I use. I put a link for those in here, along with the link to the Graphitints and the Inktense. So if anybody gets enabled by watching me do this, they'll know where to find it. There's also, by the way, the Easter egg is actually in the description as well. I figured why be coy about it, so I just stuck it in the description. I'll figure out what's going on with those camera controls here in a second, guys. And so this is the cadmium yellow. And I'm just adding it to the bee. And that way it stands out much nicer. So we've got just a hint of a bee. So there is that one. And then we're going to use the Graphitints for a background. Now, the darkest shade in the Graphitints that, well, the one that I like the most for ground is the cool brown. And so we'll add a little bit of ground here. And then I like my air to be kind of a yellowish or a lavenderish color. So I will go with the meadow for creating just a hint of a yellow background. It also kind of gives the impression of foliage. You know, like maybe there's something green back there, and our little flower is against it. And I'm just sort of by eye, staying about a quarter of the way off from the edges of the page. Once again, we're not aiming for perfection. It is fun and pretty to look at. And then, of course, we will go with a blue sky. And the only, there are three shades of blue in the Graphitinse. There's Shadow, which is actually a really pretty shade, but when we swatched it, let's go to the swatches. It wasn't very blue. Well, actually, it was the blue. Sorry. It is the blue. Yeah, sorry. All right, let's go with the Shadow. I was wrong. I stand corrected. Shadow has a very blue tint, and Ocean, I think, is a prettier blue, but it's more for water. So the Shadow, a light shadow, is a perfect blue. So we'll go with that. Whereas the Cloud Gray is purple. Or not Cloud Gray, a Storm. The Storm is a purple base. And if you ever wonder what the base of a watercolor is, just put it on very, very lightly. Like a lot of blacks, you'll find that the base of a black is red. Hi, Isabel. Thank you and welcome and thank you for coming and all that good stuff. Okay, so now those are just very, very light shades. Once again, this time I'm choosing, whoops, I should only have, okay. I'm choosing the wetter of the brushes. Okay. I momentarily lost a brush, guys, so I was like, all right, where is the other one? Sort of working fairly quickly, just to, now I'm up into the green. And see how light it is? It'll be even lighter when it dries. And the Graphitinse you can continue to move around, although once they respond really well to being wet. So if you notice that you get a streaky spot, you can work on it. Just don't work on it so long that you peel your paper. If that starts to happen, just let up, let it dry, and try it again. See, I even sound like I know what I'm talking about. I actually did practice this, guys. I practiced it for 2 full nights running. Now I'm up into the blue, or more precisely, the what did we use? The the shadow. Back to the green. And I do have a, the paper towel thing over there that I'm using to dab my brushes off, so that I don't mix colors and things like that. I used to watch Anne Irvine do this. She draws these very cute little creatures, and she would draw them live on Facebook. And they would be sold before she was even done with it. And people would be fighting over them. I'm like, yeah, not going to do that. Okay. And just like that, we have a cute little thank you card. This needs a little bit more down here on the bottom, just to make sure that it matches the the sides with a sort of border, evenness of border width. And of course, I will wait until it's dry to sign it, but ta-da! A little hand-drawn thank you note. And holy cow, it took me an hour to do this. Or, well, we're an hour and 2 minutes in. That's amazing. Okay, now I can look at the chat for a second. And so it's looking like we're going on a theme. They all have little bees. And yeah, I'm really kind of pleased with how these are turning out. And yay! I am so delighted. Okay, now that said, I need to make sure that I have all of your addresses. So if you have ever sent me a PayPal tip jar, I have your address. If you if you had registered it with PayPal, I have it. I also have several addresses already. There are some that I do need. So if you have never given me your address uh, and would like your thank you card, because I will be sending them to you, please email me at email me your address if you are willing to tell me where you live at. Hang on. I have to be able to spell my own name. And you all know who you are. I could make a list, but that would just give you away for those people who want to be anonymous. Oh dear, I just rescued the dangers of the little copy warmer. I just rescued my Inktense from sitting on the copy warmer for I don't know how long. Uh-oh. Anyway, we're going to do another one of these, but I just wanted to, I wanted to look up at the chat and, oh, I don't think you want to read chat. It's exhausting. Oh, okay. All right. So I'll read it later. That's not a problem. But if there were any questions or anything like that, and No, don't read chat. Okay. Ever. Okay. Uh, oh dear. Okay. Well, of course, now I'll have to read it. But were you guys telling me how awful an artist I am? Oh no. Oh, Katie, sorry that you were buffering. Susie had pushed the cup right off, which gives you an idea of just how focused and concentrated I actually was. Not only that, my coffee's cold. Oh, okay. All righty. Never would say that, Christine. Okay, good. Well, that's good. Uh, Silver Black Velvet. That's brush. I know that. And that is so funny. Uh, okay, does everybody want to go grab a quick cup of coffee, and then we'll come back and I'll do one more? Or is that enough demo for you? Or what would you like me to do? Sounds perfect. Okay, good. Yes, let's everybody go grab a quick cuppa. And oh, look, I even know where it is today. This is my dollar store be right back sign, which will work in a pinch. And actually, I don't want it to cover up my pretty little people here, my pretty little guys. Well, so we'll just go. We'll be right back. There we go. How about we? Here we go. No. Well, that doesn't work. I'm going to futz around and you're all going to be back with your coffee. What can I say? Presentation is everything, right? Da-da-da. Okay. Close enough. I'll be right back. Now, of course, the only downside to the coffee warmer is that you cannot put that particular cup in the microwave to heat up your coffee, because I make it by the pot, but of course, I end up usually reheating it in the microwave because I make it the night before and then I drink it all day. And no coffee maker should ever be on that long. So you do end up I've mastered the 2-cup. So I heat the coffee in this one, and then I pour the coffee into the metal one. I tried to cook my Inktense. Actually, they got evenly baked because it was actually the tin that was sitting as opposed to any of the particular pencils. But I do believe that I rescued them in time, that no serious damage was done. Sparky much, Christine. Sparky much. I don't know if I know what that means. Hey, Ann, how are ya? I mentioned you earlier, my friend. Hello, May. I didn't see you behind the sofa, Becky. Okay. And it's magic milk time. Nope, magic milk here. I was trying to think about the last time I had so much as a glass of wine or a beer, and it has to have been last summer. Oh, I know what I was going to do. I was going to add the those things. the wings. I was going to add the wings. No, actually, I think what I'm going to do is I might do this. And ooh, actually, I just thought of something else. We're going to do this, but this is just a white uniball, but I'm also going to make them iridescent. Ooh, that'll be pretty. By using the hologram paint. How about that? That'll look cool. Okay. Now I have to wait for that to dry, though. So we're going to break out the watercolors. You're going to really... Now, these I have not practiced with, guys. So this will be a first try. And I am going to break this set out because and so for all of you who might not know what we're doing today, I have cut down a bunch of vellum paper stock, and I have just hand-drawn little designs on it. Some are from tracings that I did from my actual books that I draw and released. So, I did that. Here's my light box. Oh, that's well, let's do that one. That's the one that we just drew. And so let's do this one with the watercolors. And I'm making little thank you notes for subscribers who have sent me birthday gifts, other gifts, and PayPal tip jars. So that is what I am doing today. I cannot claim this as an original idea. I got this idea from Dee Dee. I think it is a good one. She has single-handedly done for spackle sales what no other artist has ever done. And Okay, what watercolors are those? Oh, I'm so glad you asked. All right, these are marketed as the Pretty Excellent brand of watercolors. Now, I did put a link to these in the video that I posted dated yesterday. There is no way that I do not know enough about good quality watercolors to know whether or not these are any good from a professional grade or not, a professional standpoint. What I can tell you is that I learned about them from Lindsay over at A Frugal Crafter. She did a video. It was titled, I cannot believe that these watercolors are under $20. And they come in this metal tin. There are 36 colors. It is boxed by the same manufacturers that manufacture the Paul Rubens. It has the same card that come in the Paul Rubens. They are highly pigmented. I swatched these on the same day that I swatched the Winsor and Newton student brand, the Winsor and Newton Cotmans, which are a student grade watercolor, and the which are these, and these are wonderful, by the way. These are absolutely wonderful. And this was the result. This is the Pretty Excellent watercolors, and there's 32 colors. And this is the Winsor Newton. So, I mean, they are both absolutely gorgeous. Both absolutely gorgeous. These, I actually had to make certain that I